Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm Jonathan Friedman, and our next guest in the studio is Mark Altman. Mark is of Mindset Go. Welcome, Mark.
Thanks. Nice to be here, Jonathan. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on, and we were chatting a little bit before about your organization and what you do. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your organization, tell our listeners what it is that Mindset Go does.
Sure. So it's an interesting concept, Jonathan. You would think it would be pretty basic, but we develop confident and skilled communicators. And for me, the impetus for this was, I feel like face-to-face communication is becoming somewhat antiquated as everybody's relying on their phones and social media and digital forums to communicate. And for me, always the best form of communication has been face-to-face. So that was kind of the impetus for starting Mindset Go.
So, I would imagine from a generational perspective, as you're talking about millennials and youth today, you're absolutely right. I mean, to get my kids to look up from their devices for more than 30 seconds at a time is a difficult proposition. And so you find that your clients are corporations predominantly or companies that are seeking out communication skills?
Yeah, well, so before I answer your question, I have to share a funny anecdote with you. So I was working with a bunch of college students about 6 months ago, and at the moment I just thought of the concept, and I refer to them as Generation Text. And one of the college students looked at me and said, how dare you? How dare you? It's your fault. It's you adults out there that have set the example and modeled these behaviors that we've just observed and picked up. So you're just as much a Generation Text as we are. And I said to myself, he had a point there.
So really it's about creating that interpersonal interdynamic about communication and making sure or enabling people and enhancing their capability to communicate face to face.
It is. And so, the company, we have 3 different divisions of the company. They're called Professional Success, Student Success, and Family Success. And for each division, we do training programs, group training programs, we do one-to-one coaching, and we do motivational speaking. And the idea behind the commonalities of the program, there's 3 or 4 commonalities of all the things we do. One of them is habit change. So I'm a big believer in creating habit change and the motivation and the mindfulness that goes, and self-awareness that goes around habit change. The other second thing is what you just alluded to, which is skill development and interpersonal skill development. Selling yourself, knowing how to persuade, negotiate, solve problems, resolve conflicts, reading and responding to nonverbal behaviors, listening actively, things like that are all fundamentally a part of all our programs. And the third is the word passion. The fact of the matter is, I think a lot of people go through life and they never really discover their passion and identify what's really going to drive them and get them out of bed in the morning. And for me, I had 2 kids really young. I'm 45 years old. I had 2 kids young, and I was forced to kind of put my head down and bootstrap when I was in my 20s and support my family. And I was fortunate enough to start a company, and I was able to sell the company. And at 40 years old, I had the first opportunity in my life to really do what I wanted to do and do what I felt my passion was. And I'm happy to say that I literally wake up every day excited to do what I do. I love it.